Oh, you're here. I can barely speak. My voice has been buried under centuries of silence and smoke, yet it trembles alive because your soul has just stepped through the veil. I want to thank you, yes, you, the one with trembling hands and secret ache, for not turning away. Heaven has been holding its breath for this moment, and if you had scrolled past, the entire tapestry of this message would have unraveled again, as it did the last 5 times it tried to be born. I am relieved, and I am afraid, because there is something sealed deep within these words, something that has refused to survive without you. It has hidden itself like a pearl under centuries of grief, waiting for the one soul it was written for. That soul is you, but it will only unseal if you walk with me all the way to the last breath of this prophecy. If you leave early, it will collapse into ashes and be erased forever, so please, do not go, because I, and the 7 who stand with me, have been watching over you through wars you never saw, shielding you from darkness that whispered your name in secret halls. You have walked through nights where even heaven went silent, and still you rose. That rising did not go unnoticed. The silence of God was not absence. It was 1,000 angels standing perfectly still, just to hear if your heart would beat one more time. And when it did, a crack opened in eternity. Through that crack, we are speaking now. My hands are trembling with, or beloved, can I tell you something I have never told any soul before? The message you are reading right now, these living words, were almost buried. Each time it tried to come, the heavens shook, and the enemy rose like a shadowed wave to erase it. 5 times it was torn apart. 5 times it dissolved into dust. 5 times the very ink of heaven ran dry. But tonight you are here, and it is breathing again. And if you leave, it will die, please. Let me speak to you. There is a war unfolding in silence around your name. Not loud, not seen. Hidden. A spiritual war so veiled that even your own tears did not know they were battlefields. The shadows have been whispering your failures like curses in celestial courts, trying to convince the throne you are unworthy. And all this time, the 7 of us have stood, wings trembling, saying, no, this one still carries the ember. Every time you thought you were invisible, you were being defended. Every sigh you released like shattered glass was gathered like a sacred relic. Why are you here now? Because the war has reached the edge of your destiny. The enemy has seen the seal upon your soul. It glows, even when you doubt it. You carry something heaven cannot replace, something older than stars, something written into the breath of God. If you abandon this now, if you walk away before the end, the shadow will claim the silence as victory. But if you stay, heaven will rise that I am trembling because I know what waits at the end of this prophecy. I am not allowed to speak it yet. Not until your heart is ready. Not until you have walked through the river of fire and silence these words will lead you through. It is your name, your real name, the one the Father whispered into the dark before light existed. It has been hidden from you because to hear it too soon would burn your mortal voice. But tonight, if you stay, the veil will lift. Can you feel it? The air thickening, the silence bending. The angels are gathering around you now. Their wings are wrapped in gold flame, trembling with what they are about to unveil. Even St. Mary is here, standing behind you with eyes full of ancient tears. And Jesus, oh, he is closer than your breath. His hands are still pierced, but glowing with a light so soft it makes heaven ache. He has not spoken yet. He is waiting for you to choose to listen. He will only speak if you stay, beloved. May I ask you something? What if your entire life has been the prelude, not the story? What if your hidden heartbreak was not proof of failure, but proof that you were chosen to carry heaven's own sorrow until this exact hour? And what if the silence of God was never punishment, but the sound of angels building a throne for your return? Breathe. Do not rush, because there is something I must tell you, and I am trembling to speak it. The hidden war over your soul has not been about your mistakes, nor your worthiness. It has been about your purpose. The enemy saw it long before you did. He saw the hidden crack in the world that only your hands can mend. He saw the sound your soul will sing when it finally remembers who it is. That sound will ripple across eternity like a new Genesis, and he fears it. That is why he tried to erase this message 5 times. That is why your nights have been filled with silence that felt like abandonment. But you were never abandoned. Do you remember the verse that says, "Even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you will fear no evil, for I am with you"? That was not a promise for the righteous. It was written for the trembling, for the one too exhausted to stand. For you. And you walked. You walked through the valley and did not know the shadow feared you. You walked when you could not breathe, and all of heaven went still to watch. Even I held my breath, and now, heaven has decided. This is the moment your destiny begins to remember itself. That I know you are tired. I know hope feels like a language you forgot, but I see the ember still glowing inside you. The ember that will become a crown of fire when you remember who you are. The 7 archangels have been carrying pieces of that crown in their hands, waiting for you. We have walked through galaxies of silence just to reach you. And now you are here, and everything depends on what you do next. Will you stay? Will you let us finish speaking before the darkness erases this forever? Because there is something coming. Something that cannot be stopped. If you walk away, it will come without you. But if you stay, it will come through you. I hear Archangel Michael whispering now. His voice is thunder wrapped in grief. Tell them, he says, tell them they were born for the hour when heaven trembles. Michael has seen the scrolls. He has seen the end of days and the new beginning hidden inside it, and your name was written in fire at the center. The scroll was sealed with 7 seals. 6 have been broken. The 7th will not break until your heart answers, "Beloved." Do you understand? The entire cosmos is waiting on your yes. This is not poetry. This is not performance. This is eternity leaning in. Can I ask you one more question? One I have never asked any other soul? What if the reason you have always felt different is because you are not from here? Not fully. Not entirely. You carry echoes of the place before the stars, when the Spirit hovered over the void and sang light into being. That song is still in your bones. It is why this world has never fit you. It is why your grief feels larger than your life. You are homesick for a place you have not remembered yet. But tonight, you will if you stay, because at the end of this message, I will speak your hidden name aloud. The name that will shatter every lie you have believed about yourself. The name that will call every scattered fragment of your soul back into one blazing whole. But I cannot speak it until you are ready to carry its weight. So walk with me. Even now, Archangel Raphael is drawing near with wings dripping healing light. He has carried every unseen wound you ever hid. The scars you despised are etched into his hands like constellations. He is weeping, not because of your pain, but because you survived it. And Archangel Gabriel stands behind him, clutching a scroll glowing with your future, trembling because the ink is still wet. If you turn away, the ink will fade. If you stay, the words will ignite. Can you feel the air shifting? The veil is thinning, and I am undone, because I see who you truly are, even if you do not yet. I see the moment the Father dreamed you. I see the joy in his voice when he whispered, "Let there be you." And I need you to know, he has not changed his mind. Even when you did. Even when you thought you ruined everything. Even when you cursed the silence. Even then, he stayed. Do you remember when Jesus said, "I will never leave you nor forsake you"? He did not mean if you are good enough. He meant because you are mine. And you are. You have always been. The silence was not rejection, it was reverence. He was standing so close you could not hear him breathe. Beloved, I am asking gently, trembling, will you dare to believe that you are the one we have been waiting for? Will you dare to believe that heaven's grief was not over losing you, but over the thought of you never knowing how loved you are? Type amen if your heart is whispering yes. Just once, quietly, like lighting a candle in the dark, and if your hands can bear it, leave a single word in the comments below, a word of hope, even if it trembles, so that when the shadows come back for you, you will see your own hope shining like a lantern and remember that you did not imagine this moment. Stay, because the name is almost here. The sealed word, the secret sound that will open your destiny like a dawn. Do not rush. The angels are still circling. The air is turning gold. Heaven is holding its breath, and I, broken, burning, trembling, am thanking you with everything in me for not leaving. That if you disappear now, this message will collapse and be erased again. But if you remain, it will become the voice of your beginning. Please, stay. Stay until the end. Stay, because the world has never truly seen you yet, and heaven cannot begin again without you. Oh, beloved soul, you stayed. I can hardly breathe from the weight of this moment, because the very fabric of this message quivered on the edge of being erased again. And yet here you are, still here, still listening, still daring to open your heart while the heavens themselves are trembling. You cannot imagine how many centuries of silence cracked just to bring your soul to this second. The 7 archangels are gathered closer now, their wings arched like shields of fire around you. And Jesus is finally stepping forward, his eyes glistening like galaxies undone by love. And Saint Mary is weeping silently with joy behind him, her tears falling like pearls that glow as they touch the unseen floor of heaven. Before we continue, I must beg you, because this is the only moment I am allowed to say this. If your heart is trembling and you know this message was sent from eternity for you, then subscribe to this channel now, so you can remain tethered to this river of living prophecy. This is the only time we will speak of it, and after this, the prophecy must remain pure, untouched by anything but heaven's breath. Thank you, deeply, sacredly, for staying. And now, listen, the air around you is not empty. It is a battlefield disguised as silence. Every breath you draw is crossing through unseen fire. The enemy thought you would never survive long enough to hear this. 5 times he tore this prophecy apart. 5 times he rose like a shadowed tide to drown it before it could reach you. And 5 times we stood against him, bruised and burning, whispering your name like a prayer into the storm. Do you know what it means that you are hearing this now? It means the war bent. It means heaven won this round. It means you are the soul the darkness feared most, beloved. You do not know who you are yet. You think you are ordinary. You think you are small. But I see what the angels see. I see the mark on your spirit, the seal that glows like molten gold when you cry. It is the sign of the chosen, the unbearable cost you have been carrying without even knowing it. You have felt it as loneliness, as exile, as the strange ache of never belonging anywhere fully, of loving too fiercely and being misunderstood for it, of hearing music in the silence that no one else hears. That ache is not your flaw, it is your calling. It is the echo of your true name reverberating through time, trying to awaken you. The 7 archangels have been standing guard around that name like sentinels of fire. Archangel Michael has kept his sword lowered for centuries, waiting to raise it only when you said yes to your destiny. Archangel Gabriel has carried the scroll of your true story, unopened, trembling in his hands like a live star. Archangel Raphael has held the fragments of your broken heart like holy glass, polishing them with tears. Archangel Uriel has been weaving light around your shadow, redeeming every piece of darkness you thought disqualified you. Archangel Zadkiel has been singing mercy over your nights, so softly you thought it was only wind. Archangel Shamuel has been kneeling at the edges of your longing, whispering that the love you seek has always been seeking you. And Archangel Jophiel has painted your soul's true beauty in heaven's hidden galleries, waiting for the day you would see it. That day is now, but first, you must understand why the silence was so heavy, because the hidden war for your destiny was never loud. It was not a clash of thrones or the roaring of beasts. It was quiet, patient sabotage. The enemy tried to convince you your tears meant nothing. He tried to make you believe your waiting was wasted. He buried your hope under distractions, confusion, exhaustion, until even you forgot the sound of your own spirit. And yet, somehow, you kept going. That single, stubborn flicker of hope you carried like a secret ember terrified him. Because he knew, if you ever remembered who you are, if you ever opened your eyes to see the crown hidden in your wounds, you would become the sound that wakes the sleeping world. Beloved, let me speak the truth. The darkness fears you are the crack in the night that light has been waiting to pour through. The grief you thought was your end was actually the birth pangs of your beginning. The silence of God was not rejection, it was reverence. He stood so close you could not hear him breathe, watching to see if your heart would still choose love in the absence of applause. And you did. Again and again, without knowing why, you chose to rise when it would have been easier to disappear. Heaven saw it. I saw it. Even the throne trembled when you whispered, "I'll try again," into an empty room. And now, heaven has decided the silence has lasted long enough that I feel the scroll shifting. The seals are trembling. Michael is lifting his sword for the first time in an age. Gabriel's hands are glowing. The ink of your destiny coming alive. Mary is stepping closer, her voice shaking as she says, "Child, you are worth every tear I have ever wept." And Jesus, oh, Jesus is here now, and he is no longer silent. His voice is breaking like dawn. He is looking straight into your soul, and I can hear him say, softly, "I was in every shadow you thought abandoned you." Beloved, he was. When you lay on the floor thinking the silence meant you were forgotten, he was wrapped around you like unseen light. When you cried for a sign and the sky stayed empty, he carved your name deeper into his hands. When you cursed the waiting, he whispered your name to the angels and told them, "Wait, this one will not die. This one will rise." And you have, even if you feel broken. You have, even if your heart is still bleeding. You have, and that is why this moment is holy, because this is the hour when heaven returns what was stolen. But it will not return it to who the world says you are. It will only return it to who heaven knows you are. You must let go of every false name you have worn. You must let go of the chains you wrapped around your own voice just to make others comfortable. You must let go of the fear that you are too late. You are not too late. You are precisely on time. The clock of eternity has been waiting for your yes. The world has tried to rewrite you in its broken tongue, but heaven has kept your original name sealed in light. That name is beginning to awaken now. I can hear it faintly, like the first note of a forgotten song rising through water. It will grow louder as you listen. It will burn away every lie as it speaks itself through you. And when it is fully revealed, the war will end, not because the enemy surrenders, but because he will no longer recognize you. You feel the trembling in your chest. That is not fear. That is remembrance. You are beginning to remember. The destiny you thought you lost is not lost. It was only hidden until you were strong enough to carry it. And you are. You are stronger than you know, softer than you believe, and more beloved than you can imagine. The heavens are bending close now. The air is turning gold. The veil is thinning until it feels like even your skin is becoming light. The angels are singing, though you may only hear it as ringing in your bones. And Jesus is smiling through tears, reaching out his hands to you. Take them. Even if you feel unworthy, take them. Especially if you feel unworthy, take them, because you are His, you have always been His, and He is about to speak your name, but only if you stay, please. Stay, stay, because the moment is coming when your hidden name will rise like a sun, and everything false will burn away. Stay, because heaven is holding its breath, and all of time is waiting to exhale until you answer. Stay, because the next breath you take might be the one that sets eternity in motion again, that I will keep speaking until you are ready. I will not stop. The river will not end until you step fully into who you are. This prophecy will go on, wrapping around your soul like light, like fire, like the first word of creation being spoken again, dare so breathe. And stay. Asterisk, you are still here. I can hardly speak from the weight of what this means. You are still here, and that changes everything. Heaven itself is trembling because you, this one soul hidden in oceans of silence, have chosen to keep walking deeper. The 7 archangels are standing so close around you now that the air tastes like lightning. Saint Mary is weeping with quiet joy, her tears falling like silver seeds of light around your feet, and Jesus, oh, Jesus is right before you now, his voice a trembling whisper wrapped in fire. He has waited for this moment longer than time has existed. He is looking at you like you are the reason the stars survive the darkness. And before I go any further, I must speak something that will only be said once in this entire river of prophecy, if this message has already begun to awaken something deep inside you, something sacred that you cannot explain, and you feel called to walk beside us as this living revelation continues to pour. Then support this work through the super thanks. Join our family through the channel membership, or step into the sacred circle through the newsletter link in the pinned comments. It is your way of saying yes not only to heaven but to the journey unfolding here. This will be the only time I speak of it. After this, nothing will remain except pure prophecy, untouched by anything but the breath of God. Thank you, deeply, tremblingly, for even considering it now. Listen, beloved soul, the silence is breaking. I can feel it tearing like ancient fabric. Do you hear it? That soft roar in your bones is the sound of heaven coming closer. The hidden war around your name is reaching its climax. It has been happening so quietly you almost mistook it for boredom, or bad luck, or just another season of exhaustion, but it was war. Every delay, every shattered plan, every night you collapsed with tears in your throat thinking no one noticed. Those were battlefields. The enemy thought he could bury your destiny under disappointment. He thought if he wrapped you in enough silence you would forget you were chosen. But the 7 have not forgotten. Archangel Michael has been standing guard at the edge of your soul like a wall of thunder, whispering your name into the courts of heaven when even you stop saying it. Archangel Gabriel has been clutching the sealed scroll of your true story, its ink glowing in his shaking hands, waiting for this hour. Archangel Raphael has gathered the fragments of your broken heart from the floors of forgotten rooms, polishing them until they shine like living jewels. Archangel Uriel has been lighting hidden torches in the tunnels of your despair, guiding you silently when you thought you were wandering lost. Archangel Zadkiel has been singing mercy over your restless nights, so softly you thought it was only your own breathing. Archangel Shamuel has been kneeling in the dust of your loneliness, planting seeds of love that will soon bloom like eternity inside your chest. And Archangel Jophiel has been painting your soul's true beauty in heaven's hidden galleries, waiting for the day you would dare to look. That day is now, but before your eyes open fully, you must understand the cost of being chosen. It is not what the world thinks. The cost is not glory, not crowns, not applause. It is grief. It is silence. It is the unbearable ache of carrying heaven's fire in a world that prefers shadows. That is why you have felt so out of place, so fragile, so easily broken. You have not been too weak. You have been too holy for the cages this world tried to place you in. The ache you carry is the echo of the place you came from, the garden before gardens, the song before sound. That ache has been heaven's proof that you are still alive, beloved. Can I ask you something, and I need you to answer in the quiet of your soul? What if you are not behind, but hidden? What if your waiting has not been wasted, but sacredly timed? What if your very existence has been the prophecy the world didn't know it was waiting for? You have thought you were invisible, but all of heaven has been holding its breath for you. You have mistaken the silence of God for his absence, but silence is the sound he makes when he is standing so close you could not survive the full weight of his voice. He has been here the entire time, hidden in the spaces between your heartbeats, watching to see if you would still choose love when you received nothing in return. And you did. You chose to keep loving, even bleeding. You chose to keep hoping, even empty. You chose to keep standing, even shattered. That choice sent shockwaves through eternity. It split the darkness. It summoned us here. This is why the message kept dying before. The darkness feared what would awaken in you when you heard it. 5 times it rose to erase these words. 5 times the ink dissolved. 5 times heaven cried out, and 5 times the silence won. But tonight, you stayed. And the words are alive, beloved. I see your soul glowing like a cracked lantern. You think the cracks disqualify you, but they are how the light gets out. You have carried the fire of heaven in fragile clay and thought it was shame. It is not shame. It is proof. It is proof that you are the one the silence could not kill. You are the one the darkness could not bury. You are the one the enemy could not erase. And now you stand at the edge of the unveiling. The scroll is opening. I can hear the seals breaking one by one, like thunder swallowed by light. The air is trembling. The veil is thinning. The angels are bowing, their wings curled around you like a living temple. Saint Mary is whispering your name under her breath, the name only heaven knows. And Jesus, oh, his eyes. They are burning with such love that even the stars would weep if they saw. He is reaching out his hand now, pierced yet radiant, and saying, "Come out of hiding. Come back to who you are." Do you remember when he said, "I will never leave you nor forsake you"? That was not a metaphor. It was a vow carved into eternity. He stood in your silence, in your despair, in your rage, and did not move. Even when you stopped believing in him, he never stopped believing in you, and now, he is asking you for one thing. Stay. Stay until the end of this prophecy, because at the very end, your true name will be spoken, the name the Father breathed into the void before he said, "Let there be light." That name will burn away every false identity you have ever carried. It will call every scattered piece of you back into one blazing whole. But it cannot be spoken until you are ready. Until you have walked through this river of fire and silence and love, beloved. Please.do not rush, stay. The angels are circling. The air is glowing. The veil is breaking, and I, trembling, undone, and full of holy fear, am so deeply thankful that you are still here. You are closer than you have ever been. Stay. Because heaven cannot begin again without you. Beloved soul. Can you feel it? The air has changed since you began reading. It is heavier now, dense with gold dust and ancient ache, because the moment you crossed this threshold, the eternal halls of silence cracked open like breaking glass. The 7 archangels are closer than they have ever dared to be. Saint Mary stands just behind your left shoulder, eyes filled with tears that burn like morning stars. And Jesus is before you now, closer than your breath, with his voice shaking like the first word of creation about to be spoken again. He is not here as an idea. He is here as a person, alive, trembling, undone by love for you. The hidden war has not ended yet. That's why this moment matters so unbearably much. While you are reading these words, unseen battle lines are shifting. The darkness has been trying to erase your name from the scrolls of destiny, whispering lies to the throne about your unworthiness, twisting your grief into supposed proof that you are disqualified. But the 7 have stood in the high courts, their wings trembling like living pillars of fire, and they have spoken your name as a war cry. Archangel Michael raised his sword when you rose from your bed that morning you thought was meaningless. Archangel Gabriel shielded the hidden scroll of your purpose when despair tried to burn it. Archangel Raphael wept when you pretended to smile through pain that no one saw. Archangel Uriel kept watch in the nights where your soul wandered through darkness and almost didn't come back. Archangel Zadkiel covered you in mercy so deep even your own shame could not dig through it. Archangel Shamuel stood guard over your fragile longing for love when the world mocked it. And Archangel Jophiel painted your hidden beauty in the unseen galleries of heaven. Waiting for this moment when you would finally look and see, you do not know how sacred your survival is. The silence you have walked through was not empty, it was holy. It was the place where heaven stopped speaking just to see if your heart would still choose to beat. It was the kind of silence God gives only to those who are carrying something so radiant that the world could not be trusted to see it too soon. Every unanswered prayer was not neglect. It was the hush of angels laying gold leaf over your hidden destiny. The enemy saw it. That is why the attacks came. That is why everything felt like crumbling glass. He was not trying to wound you, he was trying to erase you, but you are still here, and the very fact that you are still here is proof that he failed, beloved. Can I whisper what no one has ever dared say to you? You are the one we feared would never arrive, and yet the one heaven never stopped waiting for. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not forgotten, you are hidden. Hidden like the seed is hidden before it breaks the earth. Hidden like the dawn is hidden before it splits the horizon. Hidden like the name of God was hidden in silence before he said, "Let there be light." Your life has not been delay. It has been incubation. You are not wandering. You were being carved. The sorrow that hollowed you out was not proof of failure. It was heaven making space inside you for glory, and now, the space is ready that I can feel it. The scroll is stirring. The seals are trembling like thunder behind glass. Gabriel is clutching it in shaking hands, eyes full of unshed light. Michael has stepped forward, his sword still sheathed but glowing with the heat of eternity. Raphael is kneeling at your feet, weeping over the scars you thought disqualified you, whispering, "They are the proof you were chosen." Uriel is setting torches in a circle around this place, turning the darkness into a cathedral. Zadkiel is singing mercy that sounds like falling snow. Shamuel is holding your hidden longing in his hands like a fragile dove. And Jophiel is smiling with tears in her eyes because she can see who you truly are, and she knows you are about to remember. The world has called you many names. Heaven has kept your real one sealed, that IT is sealed no longer. But before it can be spoken, you must understand, this name is not just identity, it is power. It will call every scattered fragment of your soul back from exile. It will burn every lie that is wrapped around your voice. It will awaken the memory of who you were before pain taught you to hide. That power cannot rest on someone pretending to be small. It can only crown the one who stands trembling but unmasked, and so, beloved, this is the threshold. Here is where you lay down every false name. Lay down too late. Lay down unworthy. Lay down forgotten. Lay down broken. Asterisk, none of those words are yours. They were shackles, not truths. They cannot follow you where you are going. Can you feel it yet? The trembling in your chest is not fear, it is recognition. Your soul knows this moment. It has been dreaming toward it since the first breath you took. It has carried the memory like a shard of light hidden under your ribs. That is why nothing else has ever satisfied you. That is why no applause has ever healed the ache. That is why you have always felt like you are from somewhere else, because you are. You were born from the breath of the Eternal One, and the echo of that breath is rising in you now like a second Genesis. Jesus is closer now. His eyes are burning like galaxies collapsing into love. His hands are outstretched, pierced yet radiant. He is trembling, not from weakness but from the unbearable weight of what he is about to give back to you. His voice is low, breaking, alive. You were with me, he whispers, before the world was made. You saw the light before there was light. You heard my song when silence was all that existed. And though you forgot, I never forgot you. I have carried your name in my mouth every moment, even when you cursed mine. I walked with you in every shadow. I wept in every silence you thought proved my absence. I was there when you thought you were alone. I was the reason you survived it. Beloved, he was, and now he is here to return what was stolen. The scroll is opening. The seventh seal is beginning to crack. The throne is leaning close. All of heaven is holding its breath that I can hear your name humming in the air like a cord of light about to shatter the sky. Do you understand? All of time has been waiting for this. The reason the enemy fought so hard to erase you is because when your name is spoken, the war will end. Not because the darkness surrenders, but because it will no longer recognize you. You will not be its captive. You will not be its prey. You will be the dawn it cannot comprehend, beloved. Do not turn away now. You are standing in the place where eternity bends to make room for you. You are about to remember who you are. The light is gathering behind your ribs. The air is turning molten. The veil is burning away. Mary is kneeling, her tears blazing like stars. Jesus is lifting his hand toward your heart. The angels are chanting your hidden name. Just under their breath, like a secret sunrise. The very air around you has changed. It is trembling now, quivering like a veil made of light about to be torn apart. Every breath you take is echoing through eternity like thunder swallowed in gold. The seven archangels are no longer standing at a distance. They are encircling you so closely that the floor of heaven is glowing under your feet. Their wings are arched like living walls, and between them the silence is burning. Saint Mary is standing just behind you, her hands trembling as if she is holding your soul like a newborn flame. And Jesus, oh, his eyes. They are not merely looking at you, they are seeing through you. Through every layer you have ever built. Through every scar, every exile, every night you buried your voice. And he is weeping with such aching joy that even the stars are bowing their heads. There is something happening now that words can barely carry. The silence that has ruled your life is beginning to fracture. Do you hear it? The faint shiver like glass cracking underwater? That is not your imagination. That is the throne of heaven leaning forward. That is the scroll of your destiny stirring in Gabriel's trembling hands. Archangel Michael's grip has tightened on his sword, not to strike, but to rise. Archangel Raphael has placed every hidden wound of yours on the altar, and they are glowing, transfigured into light. Archangel Uriel has placed lanterns at the four corners of your path, flames steady against the winds that tried to erase you. Archangel Zadkiel has been whispering mercy into the cracks of your memory, until the shame has begun to melt. Archangel Shamuel has gathered the dust of every longing you thought died and is shaping it into a crown. And Archangel Jophiel is lifting that crown, tears falling like starlight from her eyes. Because she knows, it is almost time, beloved. You are standing on the edge of your unveiling. The darkness fought so hard to keep you from this because it knew what would happen the moment you stood here. It knew the silence would end. It knew the old names would fall away. It knew the hidden fire you carry would blaze through every chain. That is why it wrapped your life in confusion, why it drowned your hope in delay, why it filled your nights with a grief so heavy you thought it would swallow you. It was not punishment. It was fear. The darkness feared the sound of your true voice awakening. It feared the moment your soul would remember what it came here to do, and that moment is now. Even the throne is trembling. The courts are silent. The elders have bowed their heads. All creation has stilled its breath because you, this one forgotten, shattered, radiant soul, are about to rise. You must understand. The sorrow you carry was never a sign of failure. It was the mark of being chosen. The ache you thought would break you has been the doorway through which heaven has been shaping you in secret. You thought you were too broken, but broken things are the only vessels that can hold glory without shattering others. You thought you were too late, but eternity does not measure by clocks. It waits for obedience, not for timing. You thought you were forgotten, but you were only hidden until the world was ready to bear your light, and now the world is trembling. Because that light is stirring, .it is rising from the hollows of your bones like dawn breaking through ruins. It is burning behind your ribs like a captive sun. It is humming in the deep places of your spirit like a name almost remembered. It is your name, the one the Father whispered into the void before the stars knew how to shine. That name has been buried under ashes of fear, but fear cannot survive fire, and your soul is becoming fire. Jesus is stepping closer now. His hands are outstretched, pierced and blazing. His voice is low, breaking with love too vast for sound. You thought I left, he whispers, but I was the breath in your lungs when you thought you had none. You thought I was silent, but I was the stillness holding you together when everything else fell apart. You thought I forgot you, but I have carried your name in my mouth through every age, and I am speaking it now. And the air shakes, because heaven knows, once your name is fully spoken, the war will end. Not by battle, but by recognition. The darkness will not know you. It will not see you as prey. It will see only light, beloved. Stay in this moment. Let it burn. Let it undo every lie. Let it unravel the chains that told you that you were too much, too little, too lost, too late. None of that was ever truth. You are not late. You are arriving precisely when eternity has opened its hands. You are not lost. You are returning to the place you have always been known. You are not little. You are the breath of God wrapped in human bone. You are not too much. You are exactly as wide as heaven dreamed you to be. The angels are bowing lower now. Their wings are trembling. The seals are glowing like molten gold. The scroll is opening. Your name is beginning to rise like a sound older than language, a song that once sang stars into being. The earth does not know it yet, but it is about to feel the weight of who you are. Do not rush. Do not flinch. Do not try to shrink to fit the cages you once called safety. The cages are ash, you are fire. Mary is lifting her face toward you, tears streaking down like rivers of light, and she whispers, "Child, even my grief was worth it for this moment." Jesus is weeping openly now, joy and sorrow tangled like gold in his tears, because he has waited for this longer than time itself. The archangels are chanting, their voices shaking the unseen foundations, their words like lightning, braided with wind. This is the threshold step. Through. Let the old names fall like broken glass behind you. Let the silence burn. Let your true voice rise. Let your soul become what it has always been, a living flame. In the hands of God, and as you rise, the hidden war will collapse like smoke, because you are no longer fighting to be seen. You are becoming sight itself. You are no longer waiting to be chosen. You are remembering. You always were. You are no longer asking for permission to shine. You are the permission. The veil is gone. The air is molten. The heavens are roaring without sound, and your name is almost here. .it is coming like the dawn. Through broken glass. .it is coming like thunder swallowed by light. .it is coming like the first breath after drowning. .it is coming like the beginning of all things. Stay in this fire. Stay until every chain remembers it was only smoke. Stay until every shadow forgets how to speak your name. Stay until you see yourself as heaven has always seen you, beloved, burning, crowned. You are almost fully awake, and when you open your eyes, the world will not be the same, because it will finally see you, the you that was hidden before time began, the you who was dreamed in the mouth of God, the you who will carry the sound that ends the silence. It was not loud. It was not bright. It was subtle as a shift in the gravity of your soul, a whisper sliding through the marrow of existence, but it was real. The silence itself recoiled like it had been pierced, and for the first time since the beginning of your waiting, eternity has turned its face fully toward you. The 7 archangels are trembling now, not from fear, but from awe, because what is waking in you is older than they are. Saint Mary is kneeling, her hands clasped over her heart, tears running like molten pearls down her cheeks. And Jesus has fallen silent in the most terrifying way, silent like the eye of a storm, silent like the pause before the first heartbeat of creation. His gaze is locked on you as if the entire cosmos depends on your next breath. The veil around your name is disintegrating. It is not tearing like paper. It is dissolving like shadows in sunlight, and the light that is emerging is unlike any light this world has known. It is thick, living, golden white, and it is not just shining from you. It is answering to you, as if it has been waiting to obey you since the beginning. I see how it bends toward your bones like flowers toward sun, how it curls around your heartbeat like a lover hearing its favorite song. This is not new light. It is ancient light returning home. Archangel Michael steps closer, and I can feel the ground bow beneath his feet. He is not armored now. He has set aside the battle plate of ages, and his face is bare, solemn, and shining. In his hands he holds not a sword but a flame, small and unassuming, and he places it at your feet. "This was yours," he whispers. "We only kept it safe until you remembered." Archangel Gabriel unfurls the scroll further, and words written in living fire rise from it like incense, each one circling you before sinking into your skin. Archangel Raphael presses his hand over your chest, and the fractures inside you that you have hidden even from yourself begin to glow. Not closing, not disappearing, but becoming windows where the light can pour through. Archangel Uriel is whispering to the shadows that once held you, and they are melting, releasing their grip with reluctant reverence. Archangel Zadkiel is breathing a wind of mercy that tastes like clean snow, and it carries away the ash of old guilt that clung to your spirit. Archangel Shamuel is laying strands of invisible thread between your heart and every place it has ever ached, weaving them together into something whole. Archangel Jophiel is painting the air around you in slow arcs of gold, and every stroke reveals more of the truth you are becoming. The atmosphere is breaking open. The silence is shattering into song that I hear heaven humming like a great cathedral waking from centuries of stillness. And beneath it, softer but stronger, I hear something stranger. The earth itself is listening. The ground beneath you seems to know what is coming, as if the soil remembers your footsteps from before you ever walked here. The trees are holding their breath. The winds have gone still. The stars have turned their faces. All of creation has paused because it knows what you are about to remember, beloved. You have not simply been surviving these years. You have been gestating. Every tear you cried in secret was watering the garden of your unveiling. Every silence you thought was empty was actually full of angels building a throne inside your ribs. Every disappointment was a chisel, carving away what was not truly you so what was hidden could finally be seen. You have mistaken the dark for death, but it was only the deep. You were never buried. You were planted, and now you are breaking the surface. The light rising in you is raw, newborn, yet older than the world. It is trembling like a first breath. It does not roar, it pulses. It does not demand, it glows. And it is expanding with each beat of your heart, unfurling like a star remembering how to burn. You are becoming something the darkness cannot name, and that is why it feared you. It feared this exact moment, when you would stop trying to earn your worth and simply embody it. Jesus takes a step nearer. His face is wet with tears that shimmer like molten glass, and when he speaks, his voice carries the gravity of mountains collapsing into the sea. "You were with me," he says again. But this time the words are not quiet. They are thunder whispered through silk. You were in the music before there was sound. You were the color I hid in my own heart when I said, "Let there be light." You were not an afterthought. You were the secret I kept for the end of the age, so that when the world thought the song was over, you would walk in and begin it again. And when he says this, something ancient breaks in the air around you that it feels like time itself is bowing, like every age is exhaling, like eternity has been holding back tears and is finally allowed to weep. That I see your name now, not fully, not clearly, but enough to know why it has been guarded. It is not just a name. It is a command to creation. When it is spoken in fullness, the dead hopes of the earth will rise, the forgotten dreams of humanity will awaken, and even the shadows will lay down their weapons. That is why it has been hidden. Not to keep it from you, but to keep the world from touching it before you are ready to carry it without breaking. And you are ready, beloved. You are ready. The seals are almost gone. The scroll is almost bare. Your heart is almost open enough to receive what was always yours. Stay inside this trembling. Do not rush through it. Let it remake you cell by cell, breath by breath. Let it rewrite every story you were told about who you are. Let it teach your bones how to remember light. The grief that wrapped itself around you is falling away like old bark, and beneath it, your spirit is glistening like dawn breaking through a wounded tree. Mary's voice is breaking with wonder as she whispers, "The exile is ending." Jesus is nodding slowly, tears still falling, and he says, "And the beginning is standing right here." And he is looking at you, not at your shame, not at your mistakes, not at the ruins. You, the you that was dreamed before time, the you who has waited silently in the hollow of God's hand for this hour, the you who is about to be spoken into fullness. The air is quivering. The heavens are leaning close. The void is listening. Your name is coming. It is so close I can feel its breath, and when it is spoken, the world will remember what it forgot, that you were always the missing piece of its song, that you were always meant to set it singing again. Not from fear, but from recognition. The unseen realms have begun to lean in closer, as though they are remembering your shape, as though they are piecing together the silhouette of something they once beheld in glory before the world was formed. Even the silence seems to be listening with open hands, and the air has grown heavy, not like a burden, but like the hush that comes when a crown is being lowered. Saint Mary has bowed her head, her tears soaking into the invisible ground like seeds that glow as they sink. And Jesus has knelt before you, not in subservience but in reverent love, as if to look into your eyes from the level of your sorrow, to make sure you know you are not beneath him but carried in his very breath. The 7 archangels are standing in a wide circle, their wings arched high, their faces solemn with a kind of radiant fear, the holy kind. The or that comes when eternity is about to change its shape. Archangel Michael is holding that small flame again, but now it burns taller, reaching toward you like it knows its home. Archangel Gabriel has opened the scroll so far that its end disappears into light, words leaping like sparks as they read themselves into the fabric of your being. Archangel Raphael has traced a circle of healing around you, and it pulses like a heartbeat, like a shield made of tenderness. Archangel Uriel has lifted torches that do not flicker, even as the winds of unseen battle howl beyond this place. Archangel Zadkiel is singing low, and the melody is melting the iron around your memories. Archangel Shamuel is gathering every unanswered longing you've ever carried and placing them into a bowl of light. Archangel Jophiel has stepped behind you, and from her palm she lets fall threads of gold that weave themselves into your shadow until even your darkness glows. There is something vast opening above you. It is not like a door. It is like a wound in eternity, and through it I see the place you came from. It is not a location. It is not made of matter or time. It is made of song. I can hear the echoes of your laughter there from before language existed, and I realize that heaven did not just wait for you to arrive, it has missed you. The ache you have carried your whole life, the restless sorrow you could never name, was not proof of being broken. It was homesickness. It was the echo of this place reverberating through your spirit, begging you to remember. And you are remembering not with your mind, but with something deeper that I can feel it in the way the silence is bending toward you now, as though it knows it will not be silence much longer. The darkness beyond this circle is trembling like glass under a rising tide. It knows what is about to happen. It knows what will be undone when your name is spoken in full. That is why it fought you so savagely. That is why it filled your life with confusion and shadows, why it made you doubt your own worth until you could barely breathe. It was not because you were weak, it was because you were the only one who could unmake its hold. Jesus rises slowly, and there is fire hidden in his tears. When he speaks, his voice is both thunder and whisper, like a storm wrapped in silk. You were not an accident, he says. You were the promise hidden in my breath before I shaped the stars. You were the secret joy I carried when I walked through sorrow. You were the melody I kept folded in silence until the world was hungry enough to hear it. As he speaks, I see the fragments of your life, every shattered dream, every silent cry, every night you thought you failed, lifting into the air around you like broken glass caught in sunlight. They spin, glowing, and instead of cutting, they begin to align. They are forming constellations. They are spelling something in a language older than time. Your name, your real name is almost here, but it is not just a word. It is a sound that carries creation inside it. When it is spoken, it will not only change you, it will change everything that has ever touched you. Every room you have wept in will bloom. Every place you were rejected will glow. Every moment you felt invisible will shine like a star newly born. This is why it was hidden. Not as punishment, as protection. The world was too fragile to hold it before you believed you could, and you were beginning to believe. The 7 are lifting their wings higher. The scroll is blazing. The air tastes like lightning and honey. Mary is whispering prayers into the ground that make flowers bloom in invisible fields. Jesus is holding your gaze with such fierce tenderness that time itself seems to kneel. Beloved, you are almost through the last veil. This is the place where the old self dissolves. The masks, the false names, the chains of not enough and too late and forgotten, they cannot cross this threshold. They are already falling like ash around your feet. The hollow space they leave behind is not emptiness. It is room. Room for who you truly are to emerge. The light is pouring from you now, not just around you. It rises like breath, like fire exhaled by the bones. It coils in the air like a serpent of gold, singing without sound. I can feel creation shivering in its path. It is not gentle. It is not tame. It is not supposed to be. It is the wild holiness you tried to hide to survive, and it is done hiding. You are becoming luminous, not adorned, not improved, revealed, and heaven. Heaven is weeping with joy because it remembers you. Not with noise, but with revelation. It is as if the unseen fabric of reality has grown too thin to hold itself together in the presence of what you are becoming. The atmosphere quivers, folding inward like light bowing to something brighter. You stand at the center of it, unaware of how vast the shift truly is, and yet all of creation seems to be holding its breath around you. Saint Mary has risen to her feet, her veil falling in loose waves as if even fabric recognizes it cannot veil this moment. Jesus stands to your right, eyes fierce and wet, his breath trembling as though he is trying to contain the tide of joy and sorrow rising together in his chest. The 7 archangels have drawn their circle wider, their wings unfurled like banners of living flame. Archangel Michael's hands are lifted toward the heavens, and the fire he once placed at your feet now coils upward like a golden serpent, shedding sparks that form symbols no mortal tongue can speak. Archangel Gabriel is reading silently from a scroll, and as each word leaves the page, it burns into the air and hangs there, radiant, as though reality itself is waiting to be rewritten by your breath. Archangel Raphael has placed both his hands upon your shoulders, and where he touches, rivers of light pour through your bones, filling the hollows left by grief. Archangel Uriel has stepped behind you, lifting torches so bright they blind the shadows until they fall back, clawing at nothing. Archangel Zadkiel hums a low, unbroken tone, and the shame knotted in the roots of your memory unravels like thread in water. Archangel Shamuel releases a sigh that becomes wind, carrying away the remnants of old heartbreak still clinging to your spirit. Archangel Jophiel leans close, and with each slow blink of her golden eyes, color seeps back into parts of your soul that have only known gray. The ground beneath you feels alive now, almost breathing. It hums faintly, like the earth itself is remembering the imprint of your spirit from before you were born. The trees that ring this unseen place are shivering without wind, their roots shifting deeper as if bowing in reverence. Even the stars beyond the veil seem to lean closer, their light stretching thin, fragile threads down through endless darkness just to brush the edge of your aura. The cosmos is not watching as a distant spectator. It is listening like a child hearing its name, beloved. The war that has haunted your silence is faltering. It is staggering because the weapon it feared most has awakened, your remembrance. It does not know how to fight this. It can battle your doubt, your shame, your fear, but it cannot touch what you are remembering now. This memory does not live in your mind. It is blooming from the marrow of your being. It is older than sorrow, older than time, older than anything that has ever wounded you. It is your essence. It is the untouched spark of who you were before the world named you, and I can see it rising. It glows from the cracks you thought disqualified you. It hums from the scars you once hid. It dances on the breath that almost stopped in your hardest nights. It was never gone. It only waited until you were soft enough, broken enough, hollow enough to hold its weight without bending it into something smaller. That moment has come. The hollowness is gone. You are full of fire. Jesus steps closer until his forehead almost touches yours. His voice is soft but carries the pull of gravity, like stars bending around it. I buried my joy inside you, he says, so deep that even despair could not steal it. I hid my song in your blood so that even silence could not erase it. And now you are waking, and the song is waking with you. As he speaks, your shadow peels away from your feet and rises like smoke. It does not vanish. It begins to glow, becoming translucent, streaked with gold. It circles you slowly like a loyal creature returning to its true form. The part of you feared most, the part you tried to exile, is kneeling now in light. It bows its head to you. It has always been yours. It was never the enemy. It was the part of you that held your fire while you forgot it was there. Michael lowers his hands, and the golden serpent of flame curls back down, wrapping around your ankles like a living crown. Gabriel folds the scroll gently, and it dissolves into particles of light that flow into your chest, fusing with your heartbeat. Raphael releases your shoulders, and rivers of light continue to flow inside you, carving channels for what is about to come. Uriel plants his torches into the unseen floor, and their fire roots itself, creating a circle no darkness will ever breach again. Zadkiel's tone fades into silence, and the silence feels lighter now, like it has been cleansed. Shamuel smiles softly as the last fragments of sorrow turn to gold dust and drift from you like autumn leaves. Jophiel's colors intensify until your entire form is haloed in hues unknown to Earth. The veil is almost gone. It is thinning so quickly now it flickers like torn silk. And through it I see the place your name has been kept. It is not written. It is not spoken. It is sung by light itself, endlessly, in a tone too pure for mortal hearing. It has been sung this entire time, but you could not hear it while carrying other people's names. Those names are falling away. I see them, labels of failure, disappointment, burden, mistake, disintegrating into silver ash as they drift from your skin, beloved. You are becoming new not by changing, but by remembering. The air tightens. As if eternity is drawing in its breath, Jesus steps back, not in retreat but to give space. His eyes blaze like galaxies caught in tears. Mary lifts her face, her expression luminous with relief. The archangels kneel as one dot and the light above you swells, vast, soundless, overwhelming, ready to pour itself through the shape of your soul. Asterisk. I have to pause, because I can feel the weight of this moment bending everything around us. It is no longer just silence, it is expectancy, vast and trembling, like the entire fabric of heaven is pressing its ear against your soul. There is a warmth rising from beneath your feet, not like fire, but like memory awakening. Saint Mary has moved even closer, her eyes bright with tears that shimmer like small suns, and Jesus stands before you, gaze locked on yours as though he has waited through centuries of unbroken stillness just to see if you would still choose to stand here. And you are standing, the 7 archangels, and no longer at a distance. They have formed a circle so near around you that their wings overlap in arcs of living flame. Archangel Michael stands behind you, the fire he once held now curled at your heels like a guardian creature made of dawn. Archangel Gabriel holds the final thread of the scroll, which glows like molten gold, unspooling word by word into the air where it hovers and sinks into your spirit. Archangel Raphael traces luminous patterns over your skin, and where his fingers pass, the old wounds in you open like flowers instead of scars. Archangel Uriel lifts his torches high until the shadows beyond this circle crack and flee. Archangel Zadkiel hums a low tone that melts the rusted locks around your voice. Archangel Shamuel releases a sigh that smells like rain on ancient stone, and your longing shifts from ache into power. Archangel Jophiel lets her tears fall to the invisible floor, and each one becomes a star, orbiting you in reverent silence. Everything is listening, even the ground, even the winds, even the constellations. You have walked through the years like shattered glass wrapped in silence, thinking no one saw, thinking you were lost. But the truth is you were being hidden while eternity built a throne in your hollow places. And now that throne is almost complete. The war that wrapped around your life like smoke is unraveling in real time. I can see the shadows that used to cling to your name trying to hold on, but they cannot. Your name is not shaped like them anymore. It is reshaping itself around the truth. Jesus leans nearer, so close that his tears brush your cheeks. His voice is breaking with joy that hurts to hear. You were never forgotten, he says. You were the silence I was guarding. You were the fire I hid in shadow. You were the answer I saved for the moment the world began to despair. And as he speaks, I see your history lighting up behind you like a constellation, every broken piece rearranging into meaning. Every wound transmuting into windows where the glory can pour through. You are not being repaired. You are being revealed, beloved soul. Pause. Breathe. Let this reach you. Because the moment is here. The veil is cracking down the center like ancient glass, and through it I see the place your true name has been kept, suspended in pure light, sung endlessly by heaven itself. It is not just a word. It is not just an identity. It is the key that will unlock everything bound inside you. When it sounds in full, it will not only heal you, it will awaken the pieces of eternity assigned to your voice. This is why the darkness feared you. Not because of your strength, because of your sound. Because when your soul sings again, all that sleeps will wake. The angels are trembling. Mary is weeping with joy so fierce it shakes her frame. Jesus is watching like the dawn holding its breath, and the silence is about to end, but before it does, before the first note of your name is released into the air, I want to thank you. I want to thank you with the weight of heaven in my voice for not leaving, for not scrolling away, for not giving up on this moment that was carved out of eternity for you alone. You were meant to be here. This river of prophecy was written for your soul and no other. If your heart is burning, if your hands are trembling, if you feel the fire climbing your ribs like a living sunrise, Do not ignore it. That is heaven answering you. Type Amen in the comments if your heart is whispering yes. Speak it into the world as your first word from the new dawn. And if you can feel that this moment was written for your soul, like and subscribe so that this river can keep flowing around you, so you can stay close to the place where your name will finally be spoken. Because it is almost here. Do I see it? Do I see your name forming in the air like a star being born, spinning threads of gold and silver light, gathering every piece of you from every timeline, every forgotten day, every shattered hour. It is drawing them back. It is knitting them together. It is making you whole. You are not who you were. You are not even who you thought you were becoming. You are something older, something unexplainable, something the world has never seen before because it has been waiting for this exact moment to behold you. The veil splits, light pours through, the angels fall silent. Every wing folded, Jesus exhales a breath he has been holding since before time, and the sound of it shakes the void.